Have you ever had a guaranteed math solution before? Well, today I'm going to give you a guarantee. When you're subtracting polynomials, if you use the algebra tiles, it's almost impossible to make a mistake. Now, isn't that a nice thing to know? That you can almost invariably get the correct answer when you're using the tiles. So in this video, I'm going to just take you through the lesson as it's shown on the page with the exact same polynomials so that you understand how to do this. And if you ever run into trouble subtracting polynomials or even adding them, but mostly with subtracting them, then just head back to the algebra tiles and see if you can work it out that way. So this is the question as it appears in the lesson, and on the right hand side I've got a whole bunch of algebra tiles. And the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to represent this first polynomial with the tiles. So I need 3x squareds. Let's do it this way. So there's 3x squared, and I need negative 4x, or 4 negative x's. And I need positive 2 integer tiles. So now what I need to do is subtract from this, which represents this polynomial. I need to subtract this polynomial. And I can just use the tiles to show that. So the very first thing I'm going to do is take away 2x squareds. Okay, well that's pretty easy because I've got 3 of them, so I can just take away 2 of them. And I'm left with 1x squared. Now it says I need to take away, because this refers to this, what I'm going to take away. I'm going to take away 2 x's. And I look down here and I've got 4 negative x's. I don't have any x's at all that I can take away. So if you think back to when we did the algebra and what we do when we don't have something to take away, do you remember how we can put something there with the tiles that represents 0? So I'm going to add a 0 pair. So I'm not changing the value at all. So I added a 0 pair of x's. Now can I take away 2 x's? No, I need to add another 0 pair. So let's add another 0 pair. And now can I take away the 2 x's? So this means I have to take this away. So yes, now I have 2 x's that I can take away. So let's take away the 2 x's. And it looks like I'm left with negative 6x. And now I have to take away one of these, a positive 1. Well, that's easy. I can just take one away. So I just remove that one. And you can see I'm left with 1x squared, or x squared, minus 6x plus 1. Now that was pretty simple, but that's exactly what you have to do when you're subtracting. You have to think to yourself, model the first polynomial, then take away each of these things in the second polynomial. Here's another example. This one has a whole bunch of negatives in it, so now you have to be really careful when you're dealing with negatives, because this is the part that really seems to confuse people. But again, if you're using the tiles, I can almost give you that 100% guarantee that you're going to get it right. So what's the first thing we do? We represent this polynomial with the tiles. So we've got 2x squareds. We've got negative 3x's. And we've got a positive 2. Whoops, positive 2. Now what we have to take away from this, we have to take away 3 x squareds. We have to take away negative 2 x's, and then we have to take away a negative 1. Okay, so we have to take away positive 3x squared, we have to take away a negative 2x, and we have to take away a negative 1. So we're not just taking away 1, we're taking away a negative 1. We're taking away a negative 2x. So let's start by taking away 3x squareds. Well, there are not 3 to take away. So same thing, let's add a 0 pair of x squareds. Okay, so I added that 0 pair. Doesn't change the value at all, but now I can take away 3x squared. So let's take away the 3x squareds, and I'm left with negative x squared. Now the next thing I have to take away is 2 negative x's. 2 of them. Oh, that's easy. There's 3 of them here, so let me take away 2 of them. That's an easy one. I'm left with negative x, or 1 negative x, negative 1x. Now I have to take away a negative 1. Again, I don't see a negative 1 here. So again, same solution. Let's add a 0. So I was adding a 0 here. And I have to take away a negative 1. So I take away a negative 1, and I'm left with 3. So my solution is negative x squared minus x plus 3. I guarantee you, again, use the tiles to check your work whenever you're subtracting polynomials. You'll get it right. But as usual with every guarantee, there's a little bit of fine print. So unless you read the fine print, it might not be 100% guarantee, but make sure you follow the same kind of steps I've done and you'll get that 100% guarantee.